Hey y'all, we got some breaking news in the forced reset trigger case brought by the National Association of Gun Rights in Texas. My Wi-Fi is going crazy, so I'm recording this on my cell phone and I'll have to use the cell network outside to upload this. This is big news and I want you to know it. Here's the information. This is the case I was talking about a couple days ago, and it is in the Northern District of Texas, the Fort Worth Division, and this is in front of Judge Reed O'Connor, who's been very favorable to the Second Amendment. He said, before the court, our plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order, brief in support, and Appendix 19 filed on August 14th of 23, the defendant's response filed August 21st of 23, and the plaintiff's reply and appendix filed on August 25th of 23. Having considered the parties' briefing and applicable law, the court grants the plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order to preserve the status quo until either September 27th, 2023, or such time that the court rules on the plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction, whichever is earlier. Therefore, the court orders that the defendants, along with their officers, agents, servants, and employees, are enjoined from implementing or enforcing in any civil or criminal manner against the plaintiffs Patrick Carey, Travis Spiegel, and James Wheeler the ATF's challenge definition of machine gun. So, the TRO is only for the named plaintiffs, and I have a really good feeling that Judge O'Connor is about to smash the ATF in their teeth with a preliminary injunction. I want to show you a couple things on this because it's important. Substantial likelihood of success on the merits, which is the hardest part to achieve when it comes to a TRO. To show a substantial likelihood of success on the merits, plaintiffs need not show they are entitled to a summary judgment on their claim, but must instead present a prima facie case. Plaintiffs have met that burden at this stage with respect to their claim that the expanded definition of machine gun exceeds the scope of the ATF's statutory authority. Therefore, plaintiffs have satisfied arguably the most important of the four factors. The Administrative Procedures Act instructs courts to hold unlawful and set aside agency action found to be in excess of statutory jurisdiction, authority, or limitations. Plaintiffs contend that the ATF's regulation broadening the machine gun definition is an arbitrary and capricious expansion of the agency's authority. Plaintiffs are likely correct. The Fifth Circuit's recent analysis of the exact statutory language at issue here shows that plaintiffs are very likely to succeed on the merits. And he's talking about the Cargill case, which is the bump stock case. And in that case, they explain that the National Firearms Act unambiguously requires that a machine gun be capable of firing automatically once the trigger performs a single function. According to the en banc Fifth Circuit, a weapon that qualifies as a machine gun must be capable of 1. Firing multiple rounds by a single function of the trigger, and 2. Do so automatically. The definition of machine gun utilizes a grammatical construction that ties the definition to the movement of the trigger itself and not the movement of a trigger finger, such that the statutory definition of machine gun unambiguously turns on the movement of the trigger and not the trigger finger. Because force reset triggers do not enable a weapon to fire automatically multiple rounds with a single function of the trigger itself, the court finds that FRTs most likely are not machine guns under Cargill's reasoning. Similar to the government in Cargill, the defendants here offer nothing to overcome this plain reading of the statutory language. When the ATF revised its definition of machine gun to state that a single function of the trigger is the same thing as a single pull of the trigger and analogous motion, its definition conflicts with the definition provided by the statute, 27 CFR 479.11. By comparison, the statutory definition does not define machine guns according to how quickly they fire. To qualify as a machine gun under the statute, a weapon must only be capable of firing automatically once the trigger itself performs a single function. And where an agency regulation contradicts this statute, not only is that regulation likely arbitrary and capricious, but the statute governs. Because of this contradiction, the ATF broadened definition is likely unlawful. In sum, plaintiffs have successfully demonstrated to the court that they are entitled to a temporary restraining order. Having considered the arguments, evidence, and law, the court holds that the relevant factors weigh in favor of granting the temporary restraining order. Accordingly, the court temporarily enjoins the defendants, which is Merrick Garland and the ATF, along with their officers, agents, servants, and employees, from initiating criminal or civil enforcement actions against plaintiffs Carey, Spiegel, and Wheeler in any manner based on their current or prior possession of one or more forced reset triggers. Further, the court temporarily enjoins the defendants, along with their officers, agents, servants, and employees, from requesting that plaintiffs Carey, Spiegel, and or Wheeler surrender voluntarily or involuntarily any forced reset trigger in their possession. And the conclusion of Judge Reed O'Connor. For the foregoing reasons, the court grants plaintiff's motion for a temporary restraining order to preserve the status quo until September 27, 23, or until such time that the court rules on plaintiff's motion for a preliminary injunction. The court orders that the defendants, along with their officers, agents, servants, and employees, are enjoined from implementing or enforcing against plaintiffs Carey, Spiegel, and Wheeler in any manner the ATF's expanded definition of machine gun that this court has determined is likely unlawful. Further, the court waives the security requirement for Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, so ordered on this 30th day of August 2023. So congratulations is due to National Association of Gun Rights for strategically putting this in front of Judge Reed O'Connor, who has been he's been hitting home runs on behalf of the Second Amendment in federal district court. Will the government appeal? Well, let's see first, but we got to get through this next phase, which is, will there be a preliminary injunction? Based off of what Judge O'Connor is saying in this order, I'll believe so. And I think that ATF will fight it, which means good things, guys and gals. I'm hoping Judge O'Connor, he does a national injunction, because I know a lot of people bought these legal, lawful triggers, and then before ATF changed their mind. And what would happen to the people who've already had them stolen by the government? All those answers are still yet to be had. Stay tuned if you want to know. I'll keep you in the loop. Again, congratulations to the National Association of Gun Rights, and good on Judge Reed O'Connor. This is a very, very good one. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.